Everyone owns a phone. Maybe you are holding one in your hand right now. And if you look around, chances are you will see someone else on their phone. When you are stood in a line at the store, in between sets at the gym, it's really become second nature to us. But why sure we use our phones when we are bored, but we also use them at concerts, at dinners, with friends, when spending time with people who gave birth to us. When Steve Jobs first introduced the iPhone back in 2007, there was not really much you can do with it. Sure, you could send a text to your friends, call them if you needed, maybe play a game of chess. If you like, fast forward 6519 days later, and the impulse to pull out our phones and mindlessly watch split screen reels pretty much consumes every single of us. So what happened, and more importantly, what does the future of content addiction really looks like? If there is one fatal flaw, the human species has its own curious nature. Sure, it helps us advance as a species and also as individuals. It gives us a reason to learn and create new things. But how does it end? We have already become so addicted to watching what everyone else is doing, scared that if we do not open the app, we are gonna miss out on something. You do not even really like using them. You yet still find yourself opening the app for the 10th time today, ready to waste another 3 hours of your life. And without you even realizing, there is an army of people working to make sure that you stay like that. None of this is random. These big social media companies have one main objective: to keep you on the platform as long as they could, so that they manipulate you, and they know how exactly human mind works, and they take advantage of that. When you grab your phone first thing in the morning, when you open an app without even thinking about it, all of the habits you have, all of them have been specifically engineered to happen. The apps are literally designed after a slot machine. The way we can pull down and refresh the feed, getting another hit of instant dopamine. Dopamine. You see, there is a common misconception with dopamine online. It's currently being portrayed as the feel-good chemical, the brain that's released in your brain whenever something good just happened. Maybe people believe you are addicted to dopamine, and as a result, we seek constant stimulation to fulfill this addiction. And this idea works well if you are selling a course on dopamine detox. See, dopamine is originally a hunting mechanism. It is not released when we catch whatever it is we are hunting for, but when we are pursuit of it. The primary role of dopamine in human brain is to make the hunt fun. And if you put 2 and 2 together, you can see why social media is so addictive. It's basically one big hunt, a hunt for funny video or a post that you actually want to see. But what does this mean for our future? Well, ultimately, there is 2 different ways this can go. The first path will be one of dystopia. Think back to the year before the iPhone was released. What would give us a hit of dopamine? Maybe a walk in the park, spending time with our families. These things would produce a level of dopamine in our brains that satisfy us. And then imagine the year later when you could still do these things. You could use your iPhone at the same time. What happens now? It's not that we receive more dopamine. We receive the exact same amount of dopamine as before, except this time our tolerance level has gone up, meaning we now find those previous things not as fun anymore because we have experienced better, and this is exactly what's happening now. It's why we can't do anything without some sort of noise in the background. We are constantly going to be increasing our baseline. For most people, day-to-day life without any technology has already become unbearable. And we are only 16 years in from the first iPhone coming out. Just imagine in another next 50 years, think we are heading down a dark path here without the majority of us even realizing it. Or do we have the ability to turn this around? Sure, we would not ever be able to stop our advancements in technology, and neither should we want to. But is there any way around this? We all have seen the recent rise in popularity of genuine content of podcast over the last few years have skyrocketed in views, and people just talking to cameras are being heavily pushed in the algorithm. Why is this happening? Well, humans crave social connections. At first, social media was there to help us with that, and it works. In the early days, we did not have the problem. Social media was used as a tool to connect with the people, but when they realized that they could take advantage of it, was no longer about giving social connection but giving us a false feeling of it. I mean, when was the last time you actually got some value of social media? And people are starting to realize this. You are watching this video. Probably people like you and many more across the world are just tired of being fed up every day. And we are actually taking a step back for once. And the whole point of this video is to ask you to take that step away from all the content, even my videos included, because ultimately it's our children who will be suffering the true consequences if we carry on this trajectory. And so, keeping that in mind, just ask yourself, what do you value more, keeping these apps on your phone or a better future for you and your children? And that's for today. I hope this video is worth watching. I will see you next time. Till then, peace out.